So now we're actually seeing some signs of a reason to maybe want to be a seller off of the highs, depending on how this wants to play ball. Still more for a scalp, but we are coming off of a level of resistance. We have a nice trap high. We have a twin reversal type scenario. We have a 2-press high. It's not quite a 3-press. Could look nicer for sure, but we do have a couple definite considerations here. All right, so short from 53, looking for a target at 51.50, and I'm also looking for that long at 51. Technically, it did trigger in 53, so you could utilize this as a chance to get a slightly better price. I'm looking at this thinking that we have a secondary attempt with a bull failure. Sellers are probably going to want to try to come down for those better prices, taking an early target at 51.50 and looking to get a long going at 51. Target filled, entry long hit. Now we're looking for a bounce target back up 52.75. That was a pretty strong move down though, so it wouldn't necessarily be a surprise to see potentially a secondary leg down. That was a pretty big failure. So we'll see if we can get that 2-to-1 bounce scalp to the upside, but it might take a secondary push from the buyers here.
Trump wants to see a full coronavirus relief package approved by Congress.
I think in order to mitigate that risk, I'm going to put a stop at break even now. It's a little bit early, and I typically don't like doing that, but given that pressure to the downside, we've already come 1 tick from the target. I'm not about to give this trade back. So stops at break even on the remainder. It's either going to hit the target or I don't want it. There's too much risk to the downside if this breaks away. Yeah, stopped out of break even. Oh well. Picked up a nice short trade to the downside in the middle of that. The long just didn't want to get going. Came 1 tick away, and that's close enough. Too much of a bearish push to the downside for me to want to hang on for too long.